Hello, everybody, and welcome into another Red Wings news and rumors here at the Hockey Writers. I'm your host, Matthew Zator, and as always, joined by Jordan Orth. Jordan, how's it going?
Going good. It was another good week for the Wings, so can't complain about that. We're getting close to Christmas time. It's nice and actually kind of warm up here right now. So
That's interesting. Usually it's colder there.
yeah.
The Red Wings are tops in the Atlantic again. They keep flip-flopping. It seems like this division is just so tight. A lot of the time, all of a sudden Tampa Bay's first. You got the Red Wings. They're all over the place. But right now, the Red Wings are still first in the Atlantic Division. So, yeah, I had a really good week. And, unfortunately, still some injuries still going around the team. Patrick Kane out again. I had to double check. I'm like, he's injured again? I thought he came back. No, he's injured again. So,
yep.
Still having a good season, even though he has been hurt. So hopefully it's not too long that he's back because he has been helping the team out quite a bit. But the first thing I want to talk about on this edition is that we're approaching the 1-year anniversary of Todd McLellan becoming the head coach. I believe he was hired on December 26th last season, or last year. We're approaching that, and it's been basically a year since he's been head coach. Looking back on this past, season and a bit, what do you think about his being behind the bench and improvements? What do you stuff that still maybe needs to change to be better? But looking at the standings, obviously, it's been a pretty successful run for him.
Yeah, you look at just it feels like there's more almost accountability with the guys in the lineup. You see him kind of calling them out when things aren't going well. Granted, you don't want to have to be doing that nonstop throughout a season, but he has no problems kind of speaking his mind when he knows things aren't going the right way. It's nothing against Lalone, but he didn't seem like he was that kind of guy that wanted to. I don't know if it was he didn't want to ruffle feathers being the first time head coach or what it was, but it just seems like McLellan's got a little bit more control or command of the locker room. I think is one of the biggest things, and he holds his guys to a high standard. Which you're in the NHL, you should be expected to have those standards. So there's really not a whole lot that he personally coaching in my mind needs to continue to improve on. I think it's just continuing to build the roster and get the right mix of guys where they need to be. You look at just the shuffling that he's done with the roster lineup wise, with Top being with, to bring Kit and Kane at a certain point, whatever else, and just seeing how he's been able to shuffle those guys around and find the right mix of players that click. You're seeing the secondary scoring take off a little bit now. Larkin's kind of tapered off or leveled out a little bit. Raymond's played well lately, but I think just being able to look at the lineup and say, okay, let's see what's going to work of just on the fly mid-season, do what you got to do to make it work. I think that's been one of the biggest things, obviously, this year after the slow start from the middle or bottom six of the forwards that has really got them back where they need to be for now.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have had really good seasons to start. Like we talked about, the top end scoring has been really good, but the depth has been starting to kind of creep in there now, which is great. There's still a few players, and we'll talk about one of them that still needs to maybe turn their game around. But it's starting to become that they are playing a better game together. And also, like you said, with maybe it's a combination of things. Lalonde, maybe this season would have been good for him too. It's just there's certain players that have kind of turned a corner, and maybe it would have happened regardless of the coach. So I don't know, but that's hard to tell in hindsight. But yeah, McLellan's done. I do agree with that. With him, being not afraid to kind of call guys out. Because he's a veteran coach. He's been around quite a long time. He's coached really good teams. He's coached teams that are, rebuilding. And I think that's a big difference. Like you said, it is a big deal with that for sure. All right. Well, speaking of guys that have kind of stepped up depth wise, and this guy's not a rookie. He's not a prospect. John Leonard coming up from the AHL. He's 27 years old. So, like I say, he's basically a veteran. He's been around the AHL most of the time. He was, I believe, leading the AHL in scoring when he got called up. but he's got 3 points in 4 games. And I mean, this isn't saying he's going to be a permanent fixture in the lineup. He's going to be a big part of the Red Wings' future. But what'd you think about him kind of stepping in and being a bit of a source of offense so far here?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the injuries. I mean, you look at the beginning of the year, you look at someone like Appleton that stepped up when they needed him to. Granted, he's an established veteran in the league, a little different story, but it's just one of those things where you look at it and it's the organizational depth is starting to kick in a little bit more. Obviously, playing against his younger brother, wanted to let him know big brother can still play.
Yeah.
We know younger brother's got all the hype and stuff behind him, but big brother can still show him up a little bit. But
yeah,
I mean, it is a welcome sign. And like you said, it's not saying he's going to be a fixture in the lineup when everything's settled, but just being able to have someone that if you do need to in a pinch, call him up and say, hey, we need you to not necessarily go 3 points in 4 games again, but hey, we need you to help us out a little bit here. You got a guy like that down in Grand Rapids if he ends up back down there that you can rely on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's been impressive, and you need that guys coming up from the AHL and contributing, even if they're not a young guy trying to establish himself as part of the core. But then, like you say, the depth is big, and of course, we all know how well the Grand Rapids Griffins are doing, and Leonard's been a big part of it. So I mean, it's good that he can come up and step in when needed, and now you have a guy that you're confident to bring up, and he might be able to contribute in the lineup, and that's a good thing to have in your back pocket for sure. All right, well, speaking of, I kind of alluded to him, and that's Marco Kasper. Still struggling. It's definitely a sophomore slump after he had such a good season last season with the 19 goals. I mean, far off that pace. He only has 3 goals so far this season. Way off the pace it was from last season. But do you think they should maybe send him down to the AHL? Because I mean, we all Grand Rapids Griffins confidence, a winning environment. Not saying the Red Wings, they're winning too, but maybe he just needs that bit of a boost to his confidence because he's definitely not producing at a good level right now.
No, he's not. I mean, and it's not like he's playing bad hockey either. I mean, he still goes out there and does what he's supposed to do. It's just the production on the score sheet's not there. Would it make sense to possibly send him to Grand Rapids? Yeah, I mean, you send him down there, just like maybe a 5-game stint, kind of just get that confidence going again, just to see if he can get back in the mojo, get that back. And I mean, do they do it? I don't know. I mean, I doubt it because I mean, you look at it, if you can play him anywhere in the lineup, that's the hardest part.
Right, that's true.
Is he can play top line minutes. He showed that last year. He can play down in the lineup like he kind of is now. I mean, he's kind of a guy that even though you expect him and want him to produce at the clip he did last year, I mean, it'll eventually come. It's just how long do you want to wait?
Yeah.
Because you do have guys down in Grand Rapids that are pushing that, knocking on that door to say, hey, we can produce down here to give us a shot again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think if that continues, it very well could be that he does go out on Grand Rapids for, say, a week or two just to get his, like I said, the mojo and confidence back, maybe.
I mean, it's true with him. There's guys that you can, if they're not scoring, they're useless. You don't want them in the lineup because they don't do anything else. But Kasper's the opposite. He can do a lot, even if he's not scoring. He's great defensively. He can kill penalties. He does a lot more than just if he's not, and score and produce. And obviously, you want him to because you can, especially when you've seen it happen. It's not like, oh, he's a 4th-line guy. He doesn't score. You've seen him score. So it's like, okay, why isn't it here? And that's why this sophomore slump is a thing. And, teams they start figuring out you, and you have to kind of adjust your game to maybe guys are now, it's like, oh, this guy can score. We got to make sure that they're, in their not in the high danger areas, not getting enough space. So, I mean, that's an adjustment he's going to have to make. And I think he will. He's a smart player. I think he'll adjust to it. Will it be this season? I don't know, but I think it definitely has still that strong future ahead of him as that 2-way 19, 20 goal player in the future for sure. All right. Well, speaking of guys that have gained a lot of confidence in Grand Rapids, that's Brandsegg-Nygard. He's a guy that we did start the year with the Red Wings. Didn't produce, especially when Emmett Finney kind of really outproduced him, and which guys then getting sent down. Brandsegg-Nygard was the one. But he's got 18 points in 22 games in Grand Rapids. Should he be called up now? I mean, just because he's gained that confidence, see what he can do in the NHL again.
Yeah, I mean, if you think he can come up and produce and be the guy that you want him to be, I mean, obviously you're not going to expect him to play. I mean, you could throw him top 6 minutes, and maybe when things get straightened out, you send Leonard back and you bring him up. He's another one of those kids that you can play him pretty much anywhere and say, okay, go out and do this. And if he produces, I mean, he's not going to produce at the clip he's doing in Grand Rapids. But if he can do anything close to even just playing a point every couple games, even just showing that first round hype that he's got behind him, obviously. I mean, it really wouldn't be a bad idea, but at the same time, you kind of got that chemistry going with the guys you got in the lineup right now, too, between Detroit and Grand Rapids. You don't want to necessarily screw up with the feng shui or whatever you got going on there. So should he? In my mind, yes, you should give him a chance, but at the same time, no, because like I said, you don't want to mess up the chemistry at either level that you got right now. So
yeah, that's a good point. And the thing is the Red Wings are rolling right now. They're playing well. You got, the lines seem to be good. I mean, obviously the injuries kind of throw things away with that, but you got guys that are kind of settling in, and do you bring them up and then kind of mess up with some things? I mean, that third line with Marco Kasper, Nate Danielson, and who's the other guy on that?
Oh boy,
I had it in.
I'm drawing a blank. I can't even remember. Was it Comfer?
I thought it was three young guys, but
maybe it was Soderblom. They shuffled it up a little bit. I can't remember who's been with them for the most part.
I know it's Danielson and Kasper for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like that the lineups are doing well. I mean, you bring in Nygard, and I don't know. I do agree with that with John Leonard when he come. Maybe you switch him up, but Leonard's producing right now too. So you're like,
right? You got a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have for sure. And I mean, with Grand Rapids, I mean, Nygard's producing down there. You can mess up something with them too if you take him out of the lineup. So they've already lost one of their leading scorers with sending calling up Leonard. So we'll see. I think he deserves another chance in the NHL. He'll definitely get it eventually. So I mean, but it's good that he's producing down there. Kind of it didn't, getting sent down didn't kind of screw up his confidence. He just went down and just producing, so that's good for him. All right. Well, and we'll see if the Red Wings can keep it going. We got the Christmas break coming up. Boost their energy levels with this compacted schedule. All the teams are closing in on 40 games already. It's pretty crazy. And we're only at Christmas time. So, I mean, we got the Olympics around the corner. And we'll see if the Red Wings can keep it going and stay around that top of the Atlantic Division and make the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Looks like they're on track, but you know what happens with the rest of the season. So we'll hopefully keep it going. But yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone because we won't be back until after Christmas. So make sure checking out everything at thehockeyreporters.com. We'll still have articles going out there. Check out the Substack if you haven't subscribed there. Keep up to date with everything we've got on the site as well. But until our next video, we will see you next time.